Enter your text here in the labyrinth of the Urdu language, where every word is a jewel, none shines brighter than Muhabbat. This single word, rich with nuance, encapsulates the vast, intricate tapestry of love. It is not merely a feeling. It is a world, an emotion that transcends the boundaries of the spoken word to seep into the soul. Our story begins in Lahore, the cultural heart of Pakistan, where the scent of jasmine lingers in the air, and the music of poets echoes in the streets. Among these streets, lined with history and whispers of bygone eras, lived a young man named Zayan. He was a dreamer, his heart a mosaic of unspoken desires and unnamed emotions. Zayan's world revolved around words. He worked as a calligrapher, an artist who gave form to the beauty of Urdu poetry. His ink-stained fingers would glide over parchment, crafting verses that seemed to breathe life. Yet, despite his devotion to love's language, Zayan himself had never known its touch. One day, as the monsoon clouds rolled over the city, Zayan's life took an unexpected turn. He was at the bazaar, purchasing new ink, when he first saw her. Amara, draped in a simple yet elegant dupatta, stood before a bookstall, engrossed in the verses of Faiz Ahmed Faiz. Her eyes held a depth that seemed to draw him in, a storm of emotions swirling within their dark pools. She looked up, catching his gaze, and in that fleeting moment, Zayan's world shifted. The word, Muhabbat, once confined to his parchment, now resonated in his heart. Zayan's first encounter with Amara was brief but unforgettable. The rains poured, and the two found themselves seeking refuge under the same canopy. A conversation sparked, tentative at first, but soon flowing, like the rainwater coursing through the streets. They spoke of poetry, of life, of dreams unfulfilled. Amara's voice was a melody, her words a dance. For Zayan, it was as though the verses he had inked for years had sprung to life before him. Days turned into weeks, and their paths began to cross more frequently, as if fate itself conspired to intertwine their lives. Zayan discovered that Amara was a teacher, one who used poetry to ignite the minds of her students. Her passion for Urdu mirrored his own, and their bond deepened over shared verses and moonlit evenings spent reciting Ghalib and Mir. Yet, as their affection grew, so did the challenges. Amara came from a conservative family that valued tradition above all else. Her father, a stern and resolute man, had already chosen a suitor for her, a wealthy businessman who could provide her a life of comfort. Amara's love for Zayan, though deep and undeniable, was a storm against the walls of her family's expectations. Zayan, too, struggled with his own fears. He was a calligrapher, a man of modest means. What could he offer Amara but the beauty of his words? The weight of societal judgment pressed heavily upon them both. Yet, in the face of these obstacles, their love endured. For Muhabbat is not merely a word but a force that defies the constraints of the world. One evening, under the starlit sky, Zayan presented Amara with a gift, a piece of parchment adorned with his finest calligraphy. It was a couplet by Faiz, rendered with such precision and emotion that it seemed to glow. Dil shay to ha momla ka kichail the saf hum, kain mein unke, samni bat bigad gayi. Amara's eyes filled with tears as she read the words. She knew that their love was a battle against time and circumstance, yet she also knew that it was worth fighting for. That night, they made a promise. No matter the cost, they would honor their Muhabbat. The days that followed were fraught with tension. Amara's family grew suspicious. of her frequent absences, and whispers of a forbidden romance began to circulate. Zayan, too, faced scrutiny from his peers, who warned him against pursuing a love that could lead only to heartbreak. Yet, in the face of it all, their bond remained unbroken. In the end, it was their love for Urdu that became their salvation. During a local literary festival, Amara and Zayan collaborated on a performance that showcased the beauty of the language. Their recitation of a duet, blending poetry with calligraphy, captivated the audience. Among those present was Amara's father, who had come reluctantly, curious about his daughter's growing defiance. As he watched the performance, something within him softened. The depth of their passion, not only for each other but also for their art that defined them, was undeniable. For the first time, he saw Amara not as his daughter bound by duty but as a woman with dreams and desires of her own. In the days that followed, Amara's father called Zayan to their home. The meeting was tense, filled with unspoken challenges and guarded words. Yet, as Zayan spoke of his love for Amara and his respect for their traditions, a bridge began to form. It was not an easy path, but it was a beginning. Months later, under the same monsoon sky that had first brought them together, Zayan and Amara were married. Their union was not just a celebration of their love but also a testament to the power of Muhabbat to overcome all obstacles. Together, they continued to breathe life into Urdu, their love a living poem that inspired all who knew them. And so, the word, Muhabbat, etched in the hearts of poets and lovers alike, found new meaning in the